I don't have friends. I got family.
Hello and welcome to the first part of I Read Cancelled Shonen Jump Manga, so you don't have to. In this series I take a look at axed Shonen Jump Manga as the name suggests, give my thoughts on them and rate them on the following scale. Today let's take a look at Barrage, written by the author of My Hero Academia, Kohei Horikoshi. This series ran from 2012 to 2012, from the creator of My Hero Academia. An action-packed reimagining of The Prince and the Pauper is this hypnosis given by the Shonen Jump app, and right off the bat, I'm not gonna lie, I like the sound of this. Because Prince and the Pauper itself is an interesting story, and seeing it in a manga format with a twist to it is quite appealing. If you haven't read Prince and the Pauper somehow or some reimagination of it growing up, here's the basic plot. Anyways, the story starts off with this cool premise. We're introduced to the fact that, first of all, the story is set in space, which is something I'm all in for. I love space stories to the point that I want to write my own someday. Well, we'll see how that goes. The starting hook is that the relationships between planets are not quite ideal at the moment, which has led to war in many areas. This places a lot of burden on the prince, which causes him to leave the throne. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too crazy about this hook. It's cool, but nothing too special that grabs me in. We are then introduced to our MC, Astro, who is supposedly a poor kid working in the slums to feed his family. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking that this little kid has a family. Well, not really. He kinda just picks up random helpless kids and provides them with a shelter. He's one of those kind-hearted generic shonen MCs, but hey, generic doesn't mean bad, so it's not that big of a deal. Moving on, we're shown this shark-headed celestial dragon type of dude who claims to be the Archduke of a neighboring country oppressing Astro's boss, who, let me remind you, is a real mean guy. And guess what Astro does seeing this? Indeed, like the MC he is, he runs straight towards the shark dude's vehicle and technically just disrespects him. Who would have guessed? Doing so results in Astro's boss firing him, which puts him under extreme pressure knowing he still has to take care of his family. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get minor Axe vibes at this point. This whole scenario of, Astro saving his boss, who he clearly doesn't like, reminds me of one of the scenes in My Hero when Deku saves Bakugo from that slimy dude, even though Deku doesn't like Bakugo. Astro then heads home, all depressed because he knows he can't financially support his so-called family anymore. He goes up to the roof, rethinks life, and this is where the main thing happens. Suddenly, the Prince of Industria, which is the planet that Astro lives on, comes up to Astro and is like, I want to live a normal life, so you're gonna be the king now. Thank you. He passes this sacred bracelet to Astro called the Org, which is an item that proves that you're the prince. Now here's the twist, when I initially read the plot of this manga, I expected a story in which we'd see two perspectives, one of the prince living his life as Astro, and one of Astro living his life as the prince. But looks like that's not the case, because in the next page we see the prince get his head blown off. Simply because they both look the same and some guard ended up shooting the actual prince instead of Astro. I hope that doesn't sound confusing. Let's fast forward a bit since I'm not here to give you a full summary of the chapter. Pretty much what happens is Astro obviously gets mistaken for the prince since he has the org. Later the shark dude ends up attacking the palace because he wants his hands on the org. And as expected, he gets defeated by good old Astro because somehow Astro is the chosen one since he unlocked the full potential of the org, which can only be done by someone who has qualification to be king. I'm not gonna go more into detail, so judging from the first chapter alone, this manga is the definition of meh. It doesn't really stand out among other stories these days, and the starting hook is one of the reasons why. It just isn't captivating enough to actually make me care. Overall, it's not bad, but I can see why Jump would cancel this series. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. Also, drop some more Cancelled Shonen Jump manga and I might just make a review on them. And like always, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, comment, share, do all of that good stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next one.